All right. So I've been at work creating a YouTube channel and I'm in the planning process of what that channel is going to be. But at the same time, with Microsoft Game Pass announcement and the rage that has followed, I feel like I need to put my 2 cents in here, as there's something a lot of people are missing about this announcement. For the record, I'm not happy about it. For years, I've defended many of the decisions Microsoft has made, and yes, a few years ago, I was on Team Xbox in the latest console war. Not like I was anti-Sony and Sony had to go away, but I've been in the Xbox ecosystem for quite a while, and it one of the biggest reasons that I stuck with Xbox is Game Pass. Back when it first started in 2017, it was $10 a month. It really was the best deal in gaming. You could have it standalone, didn't even have to have online multiplayer. But through the years, Microsoft has made a lot of improvements to it. They've added a lot of quality games. They started putting day one titles on there. That was basically a lot of quality games when it's first started. Some of them were a bit old, but for someone like me that was in their mid 30s, two young kids, it was nice to be able to download and play games that I missed in the early 2010s. And for $10 a month, like every night, I could play something different. I could try out games. It was a nice thing to have. Then a couple years later, they created Game Pass Ultimate, which for $15 a month, the biggest draw was that it included Xbox Live Gold. So basically, it was the same as getting Xbox Live Gold, because you could get that for a $60 card in like any retail store for 12 months. So it was basically $5 a month plus the $10 that Game Pass already was for $15 a month. Is a pretty good deal. But there was really no reason not to have Ultimate if you were doing online gaming. So multiplayer gaming, you basically had to have Ultimate. There was no point in not having Ultimate. But the nice thing was it included PC games. A few years later, they really started getting the cloud gaming, so that was also an added bonus to Ultimate. But that $15 price point stayed the same for quite a while. I think it crept up to $17 or $18, something like that, a few years ago. But at the end of the day, while Microsoft was adding studios left and right, it really was the best deal in gaming, even for that little bit higher price point. There is even this little trick that was as good. I think they stopped it in early 2023, because that's the last time I tried it. You could purchase months and months of Xbox Live Gold, I think 36 months, then upgrade your account to Ultimate, and they would just convert it over to Ultimate for the entire time. Fun fact, I'm still riding out the last time I pulled this trick. So I think it was like March or April of 2023. And it was a short time after that. It just happened to work out this way. A short time after that is when they started stopping that trick, and the conversion of how much Xbox Live was compared to how much Ultimate was. They started actually converting it the way that it would if you were looking at like a price sheet. But that's actually, I think, when things started to go downhill for Microsoft, where, they, I guess on the surface, you want to say it started looking like they were getting very greedy. They did later that year eliminate Xbox Live Gold and reintroduce tiers of Game Pass that just included online multiplayer. So you automatically got the online multiplayer, but then you had to decide, what did you want? Did you want my Xbox Game Pass Core, or did you want Ultimate? And that was really the first tiered system they had. Then they started having a little bit of price hikes. I think they introduced PC Game Pass for $12 a month. So if you just wanted PC games, you could do that. If you wanted the console games, you could get the $10 a month for Core, or 15, I think later, like I said, 18 for Ultimate. Still was a pretty good deal for Ultimate. For up to $20 a month was starting to get a little out there. I think that was last year around this time that they put it up to $20 a month for Ultimate. And then came the announcement last week that they are now changing all these tiers. And what essentially happened was they introduced Game Pass Standard a couple years ago. And Game Pass Standard basically was Game Pass Ultimate, but you didn't have PC gaming, you didn't have cloud gaming, and you didn't have day one releases. That's essentially what Game Pass Standard was. But it stayed at $15. And that's the sticking point I want to focus on here. As per usual, Microsoft, specifically in the Xbox division of Microsoft, they're just downright horrible at messaging. I can't go into everything, or this video will be hours long. But as everybody already knows it, as being an Xbox gamer since 2002, it is unbelievable the amount of face palms I've experienced over this brand. If it wasn't the Red Ring of Death, it was the Xbox One announcement. And then last week, this messaging was horrible. They opened it up saying, we listened to your feedback and this is what we're going to bring you. Bad idea. I understand they didn't go over the pricing, but as soon as they released the pricing after this reveal, it's really sour to hear those words and then find out that they're raising the price by $10 on you. The biggest problem with this announcement is that they really needed to focus more attention on what Game Pass Standard being upgraded to Premium would get you. Yes, Ultimate increasing by $10 more is ludicrous on its face. Not even 2 years ago, Ultimate was $15. However, if you go back to pre-Activision purchase, the kinds of games you were seeing on Game Pass is essentially what you're getting now with Game Pass Premium. However, now Game Pass Premium gets cloud gaming as well as PC games. So you don't have to subscribe to the $30 a month to get the cloud gaming anymore, as well as the PC gaming. You get all of that for $15 now. They're not taking anything away from Premium. If anything, it seems like the way they're messaging this, you might actually get their the Ultimate Day 1 games a lot sooner than you would have when it was standard. I'm really not trying to be a Microsoft shill here, and I get it. It sounds like that. And, you know, I get it. The best value in gaming just got overpriced. But at the end of the day, we all knew this was coming. $20 a month was just not going to cut it anymore when you're dumping millions and billions of dollars into gaming development. I have to imagine they just aren't saying the quiet part out loud and are playing the long game on this. I have a theory that they're actually trying to get people to downgrade to Game Pass Premium, knowing that people will eventually see the value of getting a lot of quality games for $15 a month. Plus, again, you get the PC gaming, you get the cloud gaming, which is really where they want people going to. But they also know that you're still going to shell out the money for brand new games like Call of Duty. So you're going to go out of your way to buy that day one, even if you do still have Game Pass Premium. Long story short, I think the long game here is to justify stopping day one releases on Game Pass. To do this, they're going to need subscriptions for Ultimate to drop dramatically, which that's already happening. Notice the messaging on Microsoft published games for Game Pass Premium specifically. Basically, within a year, they come to Premium. That's kind of the promise they're telling you. I think in a vacuum, people are justified in being pissed off about this price hike. 20 to 30 bucks is going from $20 to $30 is asking a lot. And because it was such a dramatic increase, I think many people, they just saw red and they missed the part about what Premium is now getting. They're actually getting a major upgrade with the PC games and cloud gaming. And quite frankly, in the bullet points at least, it seems like they're going to put a lot of effort into making sure that they do get quality games on the Premium tier. But having said all this, I am very disappointed. The writing does seem to be on the wall that console gaming as we know it is, I'm sorry to say, it looks to be close to being done. And it's probably only a matter of time before Sony seriously starts following suit. I will admit, for some slower games, cloud gaming is nice to have, especially while traveling. But intensive games, it's still not the quality you want. I always prefer a console or, even my PC to play games. I want the games installed. I want them running off of the hardware. Just the other day, I was showing my son Skyrim, of all games, and my other son was using the Xbox. So, I logged in on our Samsung TV that has the Xbox app. I was able to play it over the cloud. And, even a 14-year-old game like Skyrim, I think it was Special Edition, and that's even like, 10 years old now. It still had some frame rate issues. It did not have the quality that I would have wanted running directly off hardware. So it's still not where I want it to be, and I'm afraid Microsoft is getting ahead of themselves. I think that scares me more than anything. But at the end of the day, my advice to everyone out there, cancel your subscriptions if you're truly mad. But if you still value gaming on your Xbox console, I would take a long, hard look at the differences between Premium, Ultimate, and decide if that extra $15 a month is worth it. For me, once my Ultimate runs out, I think in April of next year, I will be downgrading. Premium has what I need, and I'm not really all that into Call of Duty. Fortnite Crew, I'm not a Fortnite guy, so I don't care about that. Ubisoft and EA games, honestly, they usually go super cheap on the Xbox sales, so you're really not missing out on much there. Hell, even maybe Essentials may be worth it for you. Take a look at all the games in each of the tiers and just make that decision. This sucks. You get used to something, and when it's taken away from you, you feel cheated. But also remember, companies need to run profits. If they don't, they collapse. That's the corporate world. I get it. Microsoft's this big company. You expect them to be able to just subsidize everything to give you this value. And it was great value. But they couldn't keep this up. Corporate is only going to put up with losses for so long before they ask themselves if the nice PR is worth it or if the loss is made up in other revenue. And I guess they just the dam finally broke. And again, my honest opinion is there is still valuable service with Premium at $15, and I really think that's where they're trying to push everybody. They don't want to do this day one stuff anymore. I think they realize that they can make more money if you buy the games outright, obviously. And with physical gaming going down the tubes still, I mean, you're going to buy it. You're not even going to trade it in. More people will buy it up front. And then those people that are going to be stubborn and wait it out, they'll eventually get it on Premium. But $15 more a month from Premium to Ultimate, I just don't think it's worth it. It really isn't worth it. And, when Premium does go up, and most likely when it does go up, we might have to reevaluate this again. Is that going to be worth it? I guess only time will tell. Anyways, that's my thoughts. I know this will be an unpopular opinion, but with all the anger, all the hate for Xbox out there, again, I am disappointed as well. But it's the business world. I get it. It was eventually going to happen. They just ripped the Band-Aid. But man, their messaging is still top-notch Microsoft. Chef's kiss. Awesome messaging. But I seriously, I do feel that a lot of people missed the Games Pass Premium angle, and that's Microsoft's fault. Microsoft should have really been pushing that. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Also, as mentioned at the beginning of the video, I am in the process of brainstorming what this channel will be. I have a lot of interesting things I want to talk about, but it's all over the board. Gaming, movies, TV. I'm really I'm really in the media, and I really want to talk about a lot of things, mostly gaming, but I like a lot of things. But once I narrow the scope of what this channel will be, I hope you can tune in. But until then, happy gaming, everyone. Have a great day.